So you know the name. You've seen him on Holmes Next Generation, Holmes Family Effects, Holmes 911, and Homes to Win. That's a lot of homes, but his passion is giving back to homeowners with reno disasters. Welcome to My Kind Canadian. This week, it's Mike Holmes Jr. Hi, how are
Hey,
you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for being here. So the Homes Make It Right family brand is based around helping others, helping homeowners and helping community projects get up off the ground. So since the show, what has your perspective evolved or changed with regards to giving back and charity? And what role do you think kindness plays?
I mean, I think it all starts at kindness.
Ah,
I think giving back is essential no matter what you do. I'm very fortunate that, I'm in a career where it's based on helping people, and whether that's helping teach people the right way to do it, how to teach people how to avoid bad contractors, or just helping people, families, communities in general. It's a very fulfilling feeling to be able to help someone.
and now watching you, we've watched you obviously since you were a little person behind your dad, and now we see you verbally sparring with him and quipping with him, and it's very entertaining because I don't know that many people have taken that on. Like, I think
Yeah.
you get a free pass. Whatever you say kind of gets by. Now, what did your father teach you about kindness and giving back?
My dad, from a young age, he always said, treat people the way you'd like to be treated.
Ah, the
That was
golden
kind of
rule.
the foundation. I remember when we were younger, it was always lead with kindness first. And then, the make it right philosophy as well, which is essentially everything you do it right, with the intention to do it right the first time. So, the saying, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So
Ah,
it's always like, whether you're cooking breakfast, whether it's a relationship with a friend, a loved one, a stranger, it's just treating someone with that kindness and showing the compassion that, oftentimes I think society lacks.
and sometimes you just get too busy, right? But then you need to take it back a second and remember, because when you are involved with something that prioritizes kindness, it feels good. Like we were talking
Yeah.
about that you're kind, and it comes back to you in spades that you feel great about being kind, that it makes you want to be more kind and more often.
And it's something that I know I said to you before, but it's like, being selfless can be selfish, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, like, if it's fulfilling and it feels good to be selfless, it feels good to give. And like, once you start giving, once you start helping people, you realize, like, wow, this feels good. You feel more fulfilled. You feel like you're helping your community a little bit more.
And watching you guys on the show, like the one with Russell Peters and the school, I was like, I had the shivers because the kids were so excited, right? And
Yeah.
they're not TV kids. They were just so genuinely happy that someone was there to help them. And then, Russell Peters comes in with all the jokes and stuff, and then the finished product. And this kind of stuff changes lives. Like, it's just not making something pretty; it's making something work and learning about it, right?
Yeah, and I mean, you know what? That was one of my favorite shows that we filmed, Holmes
Uh,
Family Effect. And one of the things it was that we were able to show, like, shine a light on communities and career paths
mm.
that aren't often focused on. One being the skilled trades. We always talk about how we want to glorify the skilled trades more, not only because it's a great career to work in, it's very lucrative, but it's something like, for me, I can't sit still. I need to be moving around. I love building. But these kids, we'll use Judith Nyman Secondary School as an example.
Mhm.
It is a trade school, and they came from a school previously where they didn't fit into that, kind of one size fits all learning model.
Right.
And they excel at this other school because they excel
Wow.
working with their hands. And it was fulfilling to be able to film that show. But honestly, I still talk to some of the kids on Instagram,
Ah,
and like, it was it's just
life
great to
changing
be
for
able to.
them.
Yeah, life changing for them. But it's one of the best parts about it is that, as someone who's a part of the doing, I guess it's also life changing for me. And that can sound cliche, but you learn so much about people. You learn about these communities. You learn about the leaders of these communities, and you're like, oftentimes I remember sitting back and thinking, how are you doing this? Well, always when someone says, how you doing? I'm
Yeah.
busy. Everyone's busy, but how are these leaders of the community? How do they find that extra strength, that extra time to just give a little bit more?
Right.
And it just always amazes me that there are people out there that are like that.
And I think the things about your shows, when I see the homeowners hugging your dad for dear life, and at the end, like there's a joy of like, wow, you picked the right paint color. Like it's not that joy, it's that
Yeah.
you've solved a problem like
Mhm.
that is making their life miserable and they can't have peace of mind. It's not a decorating issue, but he has a warmth that is palpable. And that I
Yeah.
think he's given to you too, because I see all the homeowners, like they're so excited, they've got tears in their eyes, and that must be something else to see.
Yeah, I'm very proud of my dad. I'm proud of who he is and what he's accomplished. He's a kind person through and
Oh,
through. I mean, he has, not a lot of people know this, but he's paid out of his own pocket for homeowners to get their
wow.
houses done. And back in the Homes on Homes days, he actually, there was a job, and I won't name the job, but there was a job that came up and it was so big that he was like, you know what, I have to help these homeowners. And then the network at the
Oh,
time said, we can't, it's too big of a job, we don't have the time. And he said, okay, well, I'm going to stop filming the show and I'm going to
oh,
help these homeowners, and then once I'm done, I'll come back. It's always been about helping for him. And as his son, I can't think of a better role model for myself and for other people out there. I mean, it's, say what you want, there are people out there who, I mean, when you're in television, there's always people out there that like you, don't like you. I guess anywhere in life there you have that,
yeah.
but
You're not
he is,
everyone's cup of tea.
no. And that's something my mom always said, you're not going to please everyone. But my dad is truly one of those people that has like practiced what he preached. He's a good person, and to be able to watch him do what he's done is an honor.
And how many people today, when I said I have an interview with Mike Holmes Jr., they're like, is he doing your house? And I was like, I wish, right?
Yeah.
Does everyone, is that
Yeah.
like an occupational hazard that when you go to a party, they're like, well, by the way, I have this thing and can you take a look at it? Is that a thing when you go?
Totally. It's
Ah,
definitely a thing. Like, I mean, family and friends, I'm happy to help family and friends,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like oftentimes people are like, hey, do you have just like a quick second? I want your advice on this. And, I
I
think it's
just need
par
a
for the
whole
course.
renovation, just a
Yeah.
quick sec. What's your eye on that? So
Yeah,
that I
exactly.
thank you, Mike, for shedding a light and the importance of being kind and reminding us all to make it right and make it kind. And this is where entertainment and charity meet.